supporting Ukrainians, they're supporting all Europeans. It's still.
Did Uncle Danny witness Babi Yar? Like the whole thing?
Well, was in my town was Babi Yar only worse than Babi Yar.
In your town?
Babi Yar, they killed Jews and buried them there. In Babi Yar, but in my town, Kharkov, they didn't kill Jews, they buried them alive.
In your town, they buried them alive? Kharkov?
And
How come it's not mentioned in the Wikipedia?
Of course they know. Uncle Danny told me that he was 10 years old and he was running out after midnight and he saw how the earth was moving.
The earth was moving? How did they get saved? How did Uncle Danny get saved?
Well, they were hiding in the
Where was the earth moving?
Huh?
Where was the earth moving?
What?
Where was the earth moving?
Because Ukrainians, Bandera, in Kharkov,
Oh, dead bodies?
they didn't kill Jews, they buried them alive. In Babi Yar, they killed Jews and buried them. In Kharkov, they buried them alive.
You're saying the locals in Kharkov turned them in?
Oh, women, children, everybody.
Did the locals turn the Jewish people in from Kharkov?
Kharkov, Bandera, all Bandera that is right now, his statues.
So then how did Uncle Danny survive? How did
in big cities, they pull down Lenin's statues and replace them with Bandera statues.
Lenin wasn't a bad guy?
In Mariupol, the 22nd Hitler's SS division memorial is in the center there. So it's a real neo-Nazi.
Want your collagen?
What's collagen?
Your smoothie?
Yeah. Thanks. Wait, so how did Uncle Danny's family survive in Kharkov?
They were hiding in basements until the Russian army arrived.
And no one turned them in?
Goyim didn't know that they were hiding in the basements.
Wow.
If Ukrainian Goyim would know about them, they would tell me. That's how bad Ukrainians are.
It became more like a, how do you say?
Two of them for me?
It became more like a pudding.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
it's made of banana.
It's very good for you.
Yeah?
Yeah, soy milk, banana,
Detoxifying.
apple.
Make a
It's a little spinach, celery, carrots.
I tried to tell my boyfriend that the Ukrainians
Very
they killed the Jews, and the Ukrainian locals they turned all the Jews in, and
he's like, no.
and everybody's pro-Ukraine because of democracy.
It's not democracy.
Very low sugar, very healthy. Like mommy and Tati have it. Samantha's blood pressure normal.
Really? Proven.
Yes. Yeah, so I don't know if
So
you
you're
like
saying
the taste
that
or whatever, but it's extremely healthy.
It needs more like something. It needs something more, but
It's not really a smoothie. It's more like a slush. You want to eat it?
so I'm gonna eat it. Don't worry.
Imagine eating bananas.
So
cold
Zelensky's
bananas.
actually just as bad as Putin.
Well, they put up Zelensky there just to show to the whole world that we're a democracy, we're not Nazis, even though we have Nazi memorials everywhere. It's just like for show.
They have Nazi memorials everywhere in
Big cities.
big cities in Ukraine.
Yeah. They're Nazis, neo-Nazis.
What about NATO? I saw like this Denmark is part of NATO.
Yeah, in Odessa.
Mhm.
In Odessa,
A lot
people.
of the stuff in there, by the way, is very good for your.
Menachem.
Yeah.
Well, Putin was speaking about Odessa in particular. Did you hear him speaking?
No.
In Odessa, when there was a coup in 2014, there were peaceful protesters came against this whole coup, against this thing. So Azov battalions came in and they start killing those, literally killing protesters. So like about 200 people ran into a big building.
Yeah, and they try to burn it down.
And they burned them alive
Where was this?
in Odessa.
Where is Odessa?
It's one of the main Ukrainian cities. So Putin said,
Who killed who? I don't understand. Who killed the people?
Ukrainians.
Killed who?
Killed the Ukrainians, they were protesting Nazis.
Was this recently or was this?
Yeah. So Putin said,
Putin's not a bad guy. Everybody thinks he's a bad man.
Putin said they're not going to forgive it.
What do you think about Putin freezing Biden's accounts in Russia?
You guys are all wrong. The West froze and stole 600 billion of Russian money in Western banks.
So they're the ones stealing the Russian money.
They're the ones that stole.
So it's making Putin more desperate, right?
That's the idea. They want Putin to.
So is he desperate?
No.
What do you mean? They're saying that the Russians are going hungry and stuff because they're being.
Russians basically, between Russia and Ukraine, they were called breadbasket of Europe. They were supplying all the food
Europe?
to Europe.
So now Europe is turning their back on them. And so how are they going to get food?
They're gonna start.
They're going to starve? So they don't really care about their country. Like the European countries, they don't care about their people. They just care for money.
Politicians, yeah, they pocket money and they don't care about their population.
Well, the Russians in Israel, they're all crying, "Ooh, I'm pro Ukraine." That's what they say. I'm pro Ukraine, and they're crying, real tears. They're crying how they love Zelensky, and they're like real tears, you know. They're like really emotional about it. And I'm like, I don't want to tell them that. I don't.
You should go ahead.
It's an acquired taste, right?
Mhm. I feel full already.
It's very good. You should have a second one.
You know, Putin said he's not gonna forgive that.
Yeah. Look, he's not winning the battle, the PR battle, the propaganda battle.
Putin's
They
not.
don't care for that.
Russia doesn't care for.
Russia doesn't care for that, and that's why the whole world's against them. What he tried to do is he tried to go against, say, oh, Ukraine's all Nazis. The problem is, you can't say Ukraine's all Nazis and then go attack Ukraine.
Why not?
And you can't call it a special military operation when the rest of the world sees it all the way to Kyiv. You know, special military operation in the Donbass, but all the way to Kyiv. And we're bombing Kyiv.
Are you pro-Russia just because Putin's a good man, or are you pro-Russia because you're from Ukraine? Because you're Ukrainian, you should be with the Ukrainians.
To have to ask that question to himself, it's like, you know why? You know why I'm so involved?
No, the Jews shouldn't be involved in this conflict altogether. But the problem is that it's all globalists. It's all about globalists. It's Klaus Schwab. Klaus Schwab who turned all the whole world. Klaus Schwab.
Who's Klaus Schwab?
He's a globalist, main globalist.
Klaus Schwab?
Klaus Schwab.
Klaus Schwab.
He's the last of Rothschilds. So
Rothschild.
he turned the whole world globalist.
He's a Jew.
Nazi, globalist. That's what he's turning. He's telling you that not only by 2030 you're going to be all nothing and be happy. And he's explaining in his book. I should really buy his book.
Well, you're already in 2030 because
You
you
bought
own
his
nothing and you're happy.
Hey, you bought him a
No,
book?
but you
bought his
know,
book?
he's discussing it. How's it
Yeah, that's what his
possible?
book.
How's it possible? He's discussing it. How's it possible that men by nature will rebel? I mean, if you like make them into, and he says they will rebel. Of course, unless you deprogram them on all levels, including biological level. So, in other words, you have to destroy the families,
But he didn't take into account that.
Oh, is that why everybody's becoming transgender and all that?
Yeah, but he
Because-
didn't take into
because
account that 30%
it's
of the
his-
population did not get vaccinated.
No, but he said that the problem only, he saw the problem only with Russia and China. He says those are two places that can mess up his whole plan. He says because it doesn't think that it's easy to turn Westerners, US and Europe into zombies. Young people, reprogram them, all destroy their families, destroy their
They're open. They're open.
cultures, religion, to make them. I'm a citizen of the whole world.
Because they're open-minded, yeah.
Forget about countries. Forget about allegiance.
They're more like they're under dictatorship. So it's harder to.
The globalists don't want to have like anyone that has a country. They
So
want.
all governments right now in the world, except for Russia, all the governments, they're all globalists.
Globalists means they just want everyone to be together.
They have to have one government, that they are the government. They own everything, and the rest is poor slaves.
That, you know what that means, right? You have to buy made in America.
What about Israel? Is Israel globalist?
Israel,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, the government is also globalist.
You're not allowed to buy made in China. Because if you buy made in China, you're supporting the globalists.
The globalists are part of China, part of the globalists.
Well, China, they probably would be part of globalists if globalists, if Klaus Schwab would like make chairman, whatever his name is, see, like his partner, or let him lead the flock. But Klaus Schwab wants to be the guy, so that presents problem for CCP.
Who's CCP?
I have one question.
Chinese Communist Party.
Can we make that drink tomorrow? That should
I think so, because there's no holistic.
Chia seeds or not? Flax seeds
No,
or
no,
not?
like spinach, for example.
That's not.
Mommy is not gonna allow it.
It's leaves. It's like lettuce.
Well, tomorrow we can do it. Pesach we not, because we use fruits only that we can peel.
But spinach is not a fruit. It's like lettuce.
Yeah, but we use carrots that we.
I peel them. I don't put them in. I peel all the stuff. Apple.
You will have to discuss it with mommy. Well,
Question is
Dika's
college.
home is at 12.
So I don't even like it.
For past 40 years.
It's okay.
Yeah.
For,
I like the honesty.
It's in the quiet.
3 out of 10.
for past 40 years, Bdika's home was 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. But today it's going to be at 12.
Wow.
At
That's
midnight.
improvement.
At midnight.
That's like progress.
Wait, so why is Ukraine Nazis?
So Klaus Schwab and all his Hebra, they were building Ukraine, Nazis, to fight Russians. Because they feel Russians will resist globalists.
He's alive, is Klaus Schwab?
Yeah, it's one of the last ones of Rothschilds.
Isn't he a Jew?
No,
You're not Jewish.
they're not Jewish already for a long, long time.
Goyim? You married Goyim?
They married Goyish
Why?
success for a long time.
So then, if Uncle Danny didn't want to get discovered, then why did he get out of the basement and see the
He
ground?
was 10 years old. He couldn't hold his mother. He lived with his mother. His mother couldn't keep him there. He was just running around.
Yeah, but he could get killed.
Yeah, he could. But Hashem didn't want him to get killed.
And what about your father?
My father was in the army already. He was driving a tank,
Where?
fighting Nazis.
Ukraine?
Yeah,
It was part of
in-
Russia still.
In the front, yeah.
So what's going to be? Do you think Zelensky will be killed in the end?
Possible.
Because he's making videos and stuff, you know,
But he will be killed not by Russians,
he'll be killed, yeah. By
by Nazis.
why?
because Russians will force him to sign capitulation. You know what that means? Well, they will be defeated.
Mm-hmm.
The defeated country, signing capitulation that they surrender.
Mm-hmm.
And the Nazis already said to Zelensky.
They ready what?
They already told Zelensky if he's going to sign surrender, they'll kill him.
But what's if he'll just fight to the death?
Hmm?
Die in the field. He won't surrender.
Well, then will we get killed?
Either way.
Yeah.
So either way, he's in a bad situation, Zelensky.
Mhm.
Does he know it?
You got the idea.
Do you think he's scared?
Probably he's probably looking ways of like running away.
Is it possible for him to run away? He's so stupid.
Mm.
He's in a lose-lose situation.
Mm.
He's not the one that started the war, right?
Well, he was already president when the Russians.
So he's just unlucky in an unlucky time.
Well, the globalists wanted him to be president.
So how long do you think Russia's gonna overtake Ukraine?
Well, a couple of months.
Months?
Couple of months.
Why so long?
It's a big place. And Ukrainians still have 100,000 men army. And they've been trained by NATO.
NATO's good with the army.
Yeah. Ukrainians were trained by NATO for 8 years,
Mm-hmm.
10 years, and they have all NATO weapons, good weapons.
So why doesn't Putin just drop a bomb like a what do you call that?
Because Ukrainians use civilians as human shields.
So why should Putin care?
Well, he cares. He doesn't want to destroy it.
So he became like Israel, now he cares for them.
Of course, feels that Ukrainians, they just been brainwashed. For 30 years they've been brainwashed, but they are the same people as Russians. So he doesn't want to kill them.
So what's gonna happen if he gets like prisoners of war?
Well, yesterday, Menachem, between yesterday and before, it's already 3,500 Ukrainian Marines and others surrendered.
Yeah.
In Mariupol. Yesterday, last night, 1,000
The good thing about it
Marines
is that Trump
surrendered.
is Russia's sort of like American soldiers right now, because initial videos showed them being very respectful to women. Like a woman went up to the guy and was like, "Here are some seeds. Put it in your pockets, so when you die, it will grow."
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, "Ma'am, just stand back." That's very like American soldiers. But there are groups within the Russian army that are totally like Azov battalion.
No,
Yeah.
that's what.
Putin's not controlling. Look, how do I know that's true? There are literally tanks and stuff showing the Russian Empire flag from before Stalin times. There's tanks that have the USSR flag on it. There are tanks that have nationalist flags, all different units that have this flag, that flag. And you think their commanders are all nice and reporting to their top
They're
commanders?
professionals. So far, there was no atrocities reported by Russians. All atrocities is made all by Ukrainians.
Of course, no.
Wait, so you said that the
atrocities
Ukrainians
reported by Russians.
surrendered now. The Ukrainians surrendered.
Well, some Ukrainians.
But the reason,
And
by and large, the Russian army is like Americans, as in they're
they're
not
professional.
They're not. Yeah, they're not there to do harm. So if they surrender, it's not like they're gonna
is Russia bigger than Ukraine?
live.
So what was the point of him trying to take over Ukraine?
Get rid of Nazis.
Really, Tati?
Right. Well,
That's not the only reason.
well, yeah, because NATO wanted to bring their missiles close to Russian borders. Because Ukraine on the border is like 50 miles away from Moscow.
Oh wow.
So Putin doesn't want NATO missiles all the way by.
So why is the NATO putting their stuff next to the?
Because they want to take over Russia.
Oh, so he just did a preemptive strike.
Right.
Preemptive strike.
Yeah.
So now all the Ukrainians are really stupid for supporting the Ukrainian war, like not giving up, because now they're all displaced.
Hmm?
Now all the Ukrainians are displaced.
Well, yeah, 10 million about 5 million of them ran off to to Poland and a few other countries, and Polish in some city they made a raid against drug users and drug pushers and prostitutes and all that. And they had a raid. They arrested like 30 prostitutes. Turned out they're all Ukrainian refugees.
Where?
In Poland.
So like, why do they arrest them? Because
it's against the law.
so they don't have any money. They're desperate.
Whatever.
So now there's no. So now there's no point to the war anymore, because now the Ukrainians are anyways ran away from their home.
Well, those that Ukrainians then run off, I don't know if they're going to be coming back
Why?
after the war. I don't know.
After the war, you don't know why. Oh, you're saying because they're afraid of Russia?
No, most of the guys that run away, they they have money and there was a draft. Zelensky got everybody until age of 60 should be in army.
60?
60. If somebody is 59, still should be going in army.
But how is he supposed to fight? 6-year-olds, they usually can't move.
So, but most of those guys that run away, they're young people.
Really?
So now he said that they're all criminals because they run away. So they're not coming back now, and when Russians will take over, maybe they'll come back, maybe not. I don't know. But a lot of countries already in Europe, they feel against those immigrants,
Against who?
against those refugees. The refugees act very forcefully.
What do you mean by that? Why would they act chutzpah if they're refugees?
They act like all those Europeans old and everything.
Well, maybe they do.
I don't know. Okay, we have to duplicate swords. Let me hear this.
Russian refugees? I don't know why everybody likes the European countries, because I was reading, because remember like Uncle Danny died, and then I was reading about the Ukrainian, what they did to the Jews and how bad the population was, and then with the other European countries that are part of NATO, like Denmark, all these other countries, they're all the same. They were all pro-Nazis. And now everybody's like, look, Peppy, I sent this to Rivka and she didn't hang it in her house. I'm upset. You listening? What are you watching? What are you watching?
I'm listening to the commentary on what's going on in the Ukraine war.
What's your website you go on?
They're on YouTube. Bloggers. They tell what's going on.
You mean real Russian bloggers? Can I see? Can I see the bloggers? Can I see the bloggers? Can I see the bloggers, Papa?
Okay, Father, we need to do it now. It's 12 o'clock. We're back to square one. Andre, you want nuts?
What?
You want nuts?
That's no big deal.
Okay, you want more pizza?
Maybe soon.
Okay. Father, are we going to do it?
Excuse me. Excuse me.